In today's video, we are going to be making another yummy no-bake dessert. This will be perfect for the 4th of July. It has a nice creamy filling and nice layers. You guys, this is the perfect no-bake treat. I'm Rebekah with Learning Together by Grace. Are you guys ready? Let's get going. So I'm going to be using this recipe that I found in a magazine. What I like to do is tear out the pages and add it to this binder whenever I find a cool recipe. So for this one, it is calling for 4 cups of strawberries, but I only have a pint, so I'm using that. Also 8 ounces of cream cheese. It's calling for heavy whipping cream, vanilla, a box of graham crackers, lemon zest, as well as lemon juice. I'm using powdered sugar, some salt, as well as some chopped pecans. I am going to be toasting these pecans in my oven. And also, you guys, I have some strawberry extract that I had in my cupboard and figured I would use this. The recipe didn't call for it, but I figured it would be the perfect addition. I'm going to be assembling all of this in my 9x13 pan. So first off, I'm starting off with ½ cup of chopped pecans, and I'm going to put them in this pan and I'm going to toast them in my oven for 5 minutes at 350 degrees and then cool them off. Next, I'm going to go in and start slicing up my strawberries. I'm trying to do them thin, not too thin so that they are transparent, but I'm doing them thin enough so that when you bite into the strawberries, it won't be too big of a bite. So again, the recipe calls for 4 cups of strawberries. Here I got about 3 cups of strawberries, and you're going to see later on how I handled this situation. Now I'm just going to go in and zest my lemon. Make sure that you zest your lemon before you cut it. Yes, it makes a difference. So zest that lemon, and the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of zest. Make sure that when you're zesting the lemon, you do not zest the white part because that part is actually quite bitter. So I'm just going to measure it out and just make sure that I got at least 1 tablespoon of lemon zest so that I don't have to get another lemon to zest. And it came out almost perfect, a little bit over, but I was fine with that. So I'm just adding this to this ramekin, and then I'm going to get started on my lemon, cutting it in half so that I can juice the lemon. In the recipe, it calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I'm just going to squeeze half of this lemon. It's a large size lemon, and I'm going to use that for my recipe. So as you can see, it did produce 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, and I think it was just shy of 2. Now I'm taking my stand mixer and adding in my softened cream cheese, and I made sure that it softened at least an hour on my countertop before I got started with this. I'm going to add my whisk attachment because we want to make this as fluffy and airy as possible. So I'm going to start by creaming this cream cheese on a low setting. Now that I am done with mixing my cream cheese, I'm turning off my mixer and I'm going to add in my powdered sugar. The recipe calls for 1 cup of powdered sugar. I'm using a ½ cup measurement, so that was ½ cup of the powdered sugar. And now I'm going to add in the other half to make 1 cup. And what you're going to do is mix this together until it becomes nice and creamy. In the meantime, in between, you are going to want to stop the mixer and you will want to scrape down the bowl so that you can make sure that all of your powdered sugar is getting incorporated into that cream cheese. And so now I am just going to start my mixer back up so that it can continue to cream nicely. I do have this on a lower speed, not too high. It's like a medium low speed. Now that it is looking nice and creamy, I'm gonna scrape my bowl down again and run it one last time, just for good measure, because I want to make sure that all of that powdered sugar is mixed into my cream cheese. Now I'm going in with heavy whipping cream. It calls for 1 cup in the recipe at first, so a total of 3 cups is going to be added, but I'm just doing the 1 cup first because it wants to get the heavy whipping cream incorporated into the cream cheese so that it can have a smoother consistency. And I'm just gonna add my splash guard here because I'm gonna have to ramp up the speed in a little bit with this cream cheese and heavy whipping cream mixture. So now I'm just gonna go in with my 2nd cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm gonna start up my mixer. It's on low, and I'm going to add in that 2nd cup. And then I'm gonna go in and measure out my 3rd cup, and I will add that to my bowl as well, making sure that I keep my mixer going as I am doing so. This is what the recipe is calling for. So now I'm just going to slowly turn up the speed. We don't want to do it too fast because the recipe calls for it to gradually be turned up. So now I'm going to like a medium speed. And as I am doing this, I am making sure that I'm watching it because, y'all, butter can be created really fast when it comes to heavy whipping cream. So I don't want to make any more butter. I don't want it to be thick. I have done this before. So I am going to now raise the speed a little bit more. I believe this was at a speed of 8 at this point. And then towards the end here, I'm going to amp it all the way up just to get that last little bit of airiness and fluffiness to this cream cheese mixture. Alrighty, you guys, we are done with this cream cheese mixture. So now I'm just going to remove my splash guard. I'm going to remove my whisk attachment and make sure that I shake it out because we want all of that creamy goodness to be a part of our dessert. And then I'm going to remove my bowl, push my stand to the side, and now it is time to add in some salt. I'm only doing about 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, not that much. And then the recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, so I'm adding that. Now I figured I would just add in 1/2 tablespoon of the strawberry extract. I didn't want it to compete too much with the vanilla, so that is all I'm doing. And lastly, I'm adding in the lemon juice as well as the lemon zest to the cream cheese mixture. Next, I'm just going to fold in all of those things I just added. I don't want to try to stir it too much because I don't want the cream cheese mixture to lose its fluffiness and get too, I don't know, I just don't want it to disturb the fluffiness of it. And so now it is time to assemble. This glass pan has been oiled. That is what the recipe called for. So you can oil it. I did not do that when I did my lemon icebox cake and it turned out fine, but for this recipe that's what it calls for. So now it's time to assemble this strawberry icebox cake. I am starting with the graham crackers first because of course that's going to be our crust-like layer for the bottom to help keep it sturdy. And I'm just breaking crackers to make it fit. Am I the only one that struggles with breaking graham crackers to make them nice and even? I struggle with that, but that's okay. I work it out somehow. So as I do that, I'm making sure to just fill in as many of the spaces as I possibly can. And now I'm going in with some of that cream cheese mixture. It says to add 1/3 of the mixture. So we're essentially doing 3 layers. And so 1/3 of the mixture per layer. Now, I can honestly say that I did not do that. And you're going to see what happened towards the end, but it actually worked out better for me. So now I'm just using my cake frosting knife and I'm just spreading the cream cheese mixture all over the graham crackers. And you guys, this works so much better than a spatula. Trust me, I got this at the Dollar Tree when things were $1. You should buy yourself one. All right, the next layer are these strawberries, and I am packing them in there. And you're going to see later on what I had to do with the last layer of strawberries. Alrighty, so now I'm sprinkling some chopped pecans on top of that layer of strawberries. And then I am going to repeat that same process over again. 1 layer of the graham crackers and breaking some to fill in the spaces. I'm adding in some more of that cream cheese mixture on top. And I'm going to smooth it out. Here's my daughter trying to take one of the graham crackers. Actually, I think that was my husband. They like to take my graham crackers and cookies. But I'm smoothing that layer out. And then I'm going in with another layer of those strawberries and laying them as best as I can. And then I'm going to go in with the pecans. And I'm going to spread that across the layer of strawberries. Alrighty, so now it is time for the last layer. So doing the same process, laying those graham crackers out, filling in the spaces as needed. And then I'm adding that cream cheese mixture on top. I am so glad that I saved a little extra of that cream cheese mixture and added more to the top because it's making this so much easier to spread out, as well as making it look more appealing. So I was happy that I didn't follow the directions to a T because I believed that this worked out a lot better for myself. So this is a little tip. Maybe you guys will take it, maybe not. It depends on how you want your top to look like. So now that I've completed this, I'm just going in and adding the strawberries. Now that I'm adding them, I am seeing how that extra cup would have made a difference. So maybe 1.5 pints of strawberries would be best for this cake, but we are making these 3 cups work. I'm just spacing out my rows and then I'm filling in as needed just to make it look as decent as possible. And lastly, of course, I'm going in with those toasted pecans and just filling in those extra missing spots. And y'all, I think it turned out great. What do you think? So now I am covering this tightly with some saran wrap. I'm going to add it to my refrigerator for up to 4 hours, or actually 4 hours up to overnight. Overnight would be best, or you can add it to your freezer and freeze and save for later. So this is how it looks like. I actually ended up adding this to my freezer because I wanted it to be a little bit firmer so that it would cut nicely. Now, one thing that I did notice as I went in to take that first cut and lift up my spatula is that those graham cracker layers were kind of rising up. Now, this could be because I did not use a third of that cream cheese mixture in the first two layers, so that could have been the reason why. Or maybe it could have been that this is just how the graham crackers behave. I'm not sure. So there is that first slice, and then I'm going in with another slice for my daughter because she is anxiously awaiting. You guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you will consider making this for the 4th of July or for a nice summer treat, because who doesn't love a no-bake dessert during the hot summer months? Let me know in the comments below if you tried this dessert or if you've tried something similar. You guys, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let people know what we are doing over here. And you guys, you have a blessed one and take care. Bye.